Hey guys, it's Ginny, and it's August 27th. I just wanted to give you guys an update of what I've been eating and how it's been going. So I'll just jump right in, and if you didn't know already, I've stopped eating raw till 4, and I'm mostly just eating high carb, low fat, vegan, similar to Starch Solution from my understanding. I bought the Starch Solution book, but I haven't finished reading it yet, so I'm not 100% sure what Starch Solution consists of. But from what I've seen, it seems to be a starch and fruits or starch and vegetables free meals. So at any rate, that's kind of how I'm eating. I am no longer eating only fruit until 4 and then a cooked meal at night. And so far, I'm really liking it for a lot of reasons that I'll go ahead and tell you guys. So the first reason is because I'm able to feel fuller. When I was eating raw till 4, I was constantly eating throughout the day, and I work at home, so that was really distracting for me to have to constantly eat. I mean, it would be distracting no matter where you are. If you worked away from home, you'd probably be hungry eventually. So yeah, so when I would be sitting at home and I'd eat, and then like a half hour later I'd want to eat some more. So now that I'm eating differently, I don't have to be constantly eating while I'm trying to work, and that has been great. I also can feel fuller of eating less food. So that's another thing that's been really great, is it kind of feels more normal. And not that being normal is important. You should eat whatever way makes you feel the best, no matter what other people think about it. But it does make it a little bit easier. People don't think I'm weird for eating a bowl of oatmeal with fruit for breakfast. My family thought I was weird when I was eating like 10, 15 bananas for breakfast, or if I was eating an entire thing of blueberries for lunch, and or whatever. People thought that's weird. So it's a little easier in that aspect. And another thing is that it's really easy and simple to prepare. This isn't necessarily something different from raw till 4, because I didn't find it difficult to prepare food for raw till 4, but just as a general perk of eating the way I've been eating is it's really easy to prepare, very simplistic. I haven't been eating oils and things like that. The only times I would eat that is if we go out to eat. Sometimes they use oils, but I try to avoid that. It does make it easier to eat out too, eating this way instead of raw till 4. In the past, like if my dad would invite me out to lunch, I would have a really hard time because I don't want to say no, but then when you're only eating fruits, it's really hard to eat out for lunch. When I was on raw till 4, I could eat out for dinner, but not for lunch, and that was very inconvenient. This way I can order something in a restaurant, and I still try not to eat out a lot. I haven't been eating out a lot. I've made a new rule for myself that I am only going to eat out if other people are inviting me to eat out, not just because I feel like it. In the past, I used to get takeout a lot too. After I stopped doing raw till 4, I got into a bad place where I was eating a lot of junk food, and I was eating out a lot, still vegan, but ordering takeout a lot. So now I don't order takeout or go eat out unless other people invite me to do that. And it's not only healthier for me, it's better for my budget, and it's more convenient because I can just stay home and I have more time to do the things that I want to do. So I've been enjoying that aspect of it. I also feel super energized. When I was doing raw till 4, I also felt energized. But even more so now because I don't have to be constantly eating. I eat breakfast and I feel steadily energized until lunchtime, and maybe I'll start to get a little hungry, and then I eat lunch and I feel great until dinner time. I don't feel like I need to constantly be eating snacks and things like that. My energy is probably higher than it's been in a long time. Just little things I notice is I'll be in the kitchen and I'll be cooking and I'll just be like dancing while I'm cooking, or things like that are just not, you barely notice it, but it's a huge difference. When I wake up in the morning, I don't feel like drinking coffee or anything like that, which I also noticed on raw till 4, but I just feel really good. I feel a lot better. My digestion feels a lot better than it was on raw till 4. Not that it was bad on raw till 4. It was good. But sometimes I would eat if you eat a lot of fruits, it would make my stomach feel upset and things like that, depending on what I ate. And I don't really feel that way now with the way I'm eating. Another thing that's really important to me is I don't feel so guilty. So now I guess I'm just eating intuitively in a way that feels good and healthy, and I'm limiting processed foods and oils and things like that. And when I was on Raw Till 4, it felt very strict, like a diet, and I didn't like that. I think that's part of why it didn't work for me, because whenever I would do something, say my dad invited me out for lunch and I just didn't want to say no, so I went with him. And then I ate cooked food at lunch. Then I would feel guilty about that afterwards, because that's not how I was supposed to eat, which is silly. Like, the whole point of this is to find a way to eat for the long term, and I don't want to be eating long term in a way that makes me feel guilty. I want to be eating in a way that makes me feel really good, but that doesn't make me feel bad if I go off course once in a while. For example, last night my brother took me to a vegan ice cream shop. For my birthday, he got me a gift card, and that was in May, and last night was the first chance we really had to go together. So we went to this vegan ice cream shop, and the ice cream was amazing, and I came home and I don't feel guilty about it. If I'd been on Raw Till 4, I might have felt guilty about it. Some of the Raw Till 4 people, like Freely and stuff, in the videos, it almost sounds like if you screw up one time, it's like starting all over. And that's really not true, but it made me feel like, oh, I can't mess up anything. And I didn't like that feeling. So I think that's a big part of why finally I said, well, never mind, I can't sustain this. And I stopped doing Raw Till 4. And then I went back to eating junk food. So the way I'm eating now, if I eat something processed once in a while, I don't feel bad about it. If I want to have vegan ice cream once in a while, I'm not going to feel bad about it. So I really like that it doesn't feel so strict. There aren't so many rules as Raw Till 4. It's more of a, hey, I don't want to eat oils because they're not good for you. They're going to give you acne. They're unnecessary. Rather than, oh, I don't want to eat oils because Raw Till 4 says I shouldn't eat them. So it might just be the way I'm looking at it. You could look at Raw Till 4 and interpret all of the health reasons for not eating certain things. But for me, I think maybe the way I had approached it made it feel like I was on another diet, which it doesn't make you feel, it doesn't make you feel good to feel like you're on a strict diet. Another thing is that I find this to be much more affordable. One problem I had was when I was on Raw Till 4, I would buy so much fruit so that I made sure I always had something on hand that I wanted to eat. Because, you can't just say, okay, this, for me at least, I know some people are really into meal planning. For me, I like to just decide what I want to eat and then make that. I don't like to plan ahead because I don't feel like eating what I planned ahead all the time. So, I can't just say, okay, I'm going to have this for breakfast and this for lunch and this for dinner for the whole week and then eat that way. I wake up in the morning, I'm like, what do I want for breakfast? So when I was on Raw Till 4, I would buy a huge selection of fruits so that I would always have something I felt like eating to keep myself from eating junk food or things that I shouldn't eat. So a lot of the time, that's fruit. First of all, fresh fruit is very expensive. And a lot of the time I would end up wasting food because I would buy so much fruit that I couldn't eat it all before it went bad. And I hate that. So this has really helped me I'm not buying so much fresh fruit. I do have a lot of frozen fruit. The way I eat most of my fruit is at breakfast, and I eat it in oatmeal. So a lot of times I'll make the oatmeal and I'll just put frozen fruit right in it, or I'll cut up some fresh fruit. But I just don't feel the need to have a huge abundance of all these different fruits in the house. And that, I don't have fruit going to waste so easily. So I'm really enjoying that difference. I feel bad about wasting food. It's not cool. It's not good for, for anything really. It's a waste. So I've really been enjoying not having that aspect. The foods I am eating are a lot of pastas and oatmeal, rice, potatoes, things that don't go bad really quickly. So it's way easier to keep food waste down, and also those kinds of foods are cheaper when you're eating a lot of those staple foods. So so far I'm really enjoying it. I'm not sure if I've lost any weight. I haven't weighed myself. I did weigh myself when I first started again. But I really prefer not to weigh myself often because your weight fluctuates, especially when you're losing weight healthily. It's not going to be right away. I do feel like my face maybe looks a little bit like slimmer from the last videos I did at the start of August, but it's hard to say. I definitely am not as slim as I was when I was doing Raw Till 4, but I'm sure hopefully I will keep losing weight, and I will update you guys when I have a significant progress in the area. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video here and just say that I'm really liking the way I'm eating now. I have nothing against Raw Till 4 if other people want to eat that way. I felt great when I was eating Raw Till 4. I felt really good. I felt better than I ever had. But now I feel even better than that. So I think for me, this is probably the best way to eat. The only thing that would change my mind on that is maybe if I keep eating like this and I'm not losing weight and I'm not improving my health, then I might stop. Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention is I mentioned that I felt more energized, but I also feel more motivated. So, you know, sometimes when I'm sitting at home and I'm bored, I will feel like going out running instead of like watching TV, which is something that is really foreign to me. That's really strange to me, but I really am enjoying it. So I'm running a couple times a week. Right now I'm actually using an app which instructs you. So you walk for a minute and then you jog for a minute and then you walk for a minute, things like that, and it slowly increases the time you're running so that eventually you are running the whole time. And I'm really liking it, and I'm improving my time, so that's really fun. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end here. It's getting really long, so thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.